theme in The Fountainhead. Now, like I said, I'm not an expert on style, but I think even just a brief, style is an enormously complex factor, but even a brief analysis shows us Ayn Rand's orientation towards nouns and verbs. And if anybody who's interested in writing, this is like an object lesson. You write in nouns and verbs, you use adjectives sparingly, and you can achieve this extraordinary power. And your descriptive passages that are written in nouns and verbs, and you notice the way she describes nature, you know, the action, the dynamism of and the power, you know, of the scene she sets up by writing in this method. Very sparing in the use of adjectives. So the most effective form of descriptiveness, I think she shows us here, is to use nouns as verbs to capture the dynamism of the scene. All right, we only have a few minutes left, so let me just state something that I think's been implicit in our whole 6 hours of discussion, and then if we have a few minutes left, we can go to Q&A. And the conclusion I want to draw here regards the seamless integration of elements in the Fountainhead. Whether we're talking about the characters, the plot, the theme, the writing style, it's all one piece. It's just a full dramatic integration. Notice, in terms of the characters, Howard Roark, innovative architect battling against a conservative society, which means he's an independent thinker against a society of cognitive dependency. Peter Keating is an arch conformist who follows others, which means he is a cognitive dependency. Ellsworth Toohey, an unremitting power seeker, which means he's utterly dependent on others in every possible way, shape, or form. Gail Wynand seeks to live out a contradiction. His creativity versus power seeking, which is what Robert asked about before, which means independence versus dependence. Dominique Francon, independent thinker paralyzed by an honest error of the malevolent universe premise. Again, the point is that her independent method enables her to correct her error of content. Notice every character is a variation on the theme of this struggle of individualism versus collectivism, of independence versus dependence. So the plot, the plot theme, of course, the essence of the plot is you have this innovative architect who struggles against a society of traditionalists and conformists to erect revolutionary designs, which means you have an independent thinker against a society of cognitive and psychological dependencies. The theme, of course, comes right out of all of this, individualism versus collectivism in men's souls, first-handedness versus second-handedness. And even the style, as we saw in the brief 5-minute analysis, the pronounced use of nouns, the emphasis on entities, on facts, on the world of nature, not on evaluations or emotions, not a heavy use of adjectives. Howard Roark, the independent thinker, is focused on facts, not on what society believes. Howard Roark's creator, Ayn Rand, is also focused on facts, on nature, on external reality, in her very writing style. Independence, of course, a primary orientation to existence, not to the beliefs of others. And that's exactly what Ayn Rand does in her style. She focuses on facts. Just the facts, man. Presenting them such that a rational reader can only draw one possible conclusion. Facts before evaluations, facts as the basis of rational evaluation. And Ayn Rand thinks if you present the facts here, like in this first scene, then there's only one evaluation that a rational reader, a fact-oriented reader could come to, and that is that Howard Roark has the capacity to reshape nature in accordance with human survival requirements. And that's a good thing. All right. So the Fountainhead this is why the Fountainhead, main reason why the Fountainhead is a literary tour de force. It is just superbly integrated in every possible facet and aspect of it. I would argue that for 14 years, the Fountainhead was the greatest novel ever written. And remains the second greatest novel ever written, second only to Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged. Think of it this way. Atlas Shrugged is the symphony. The Fountainhead is a magnificent overture. All right. Thanks. We have a few minutes left. Right? How much time we have left, Chuck?
15 minutes.
All right, let's do it. I made it through. So I made it through to give you time for questions. So yeah, Robert.
Yeah, you mentioned nature in the first scene, and one of the things I like about the Fountainhead is I look at the sun. The sun, Howard Roark is like the sun. Everything revolves around him.
Where's the Holy Ghost?
And all the key scenes with him, the first and last scene, the sun is very brilliant on him. When he first meets Dagny, brilliant sunlight. I'm sorry, Dominique, sorry about that. And even Gail Wynand, there is no sun. He comes in from a rainstorm, which is kind of prelude to their stormy relationship.
Yeah, it's an interesting point that the use of the sun and of nature more broadly in this story. The symbolism here, I think, is effective. The sun is life-giving. The sun, of course, is what warms the earth, and warming is good. Contrast to, again, to Al Gore, and we know historically that as the earth cycles back and forth from warming to cooling periods and back, that the warming periods are always more beneficial to life. It means longer growing seasons, more food grown, fewer famines, and the cooling periods are always more harmful to life. So the sun, if for good reason, for rational people, the sun is a symbol of life-giving power. It enables the crops to grow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It'd be a very cold world without the sun. But and of course, Howard Roark is as the human, the representative of human beings' ability to create values and to make life possible. Then the sun is a fitting that should shine on Roark. Now you mentioned what about the rain when he gets the call from Wine, he's coming back from was a rainy November day, is that right?
Anticipating the stormy relationship that they're not going to have, whereas when he first meets Dominique, there's brilliant sunlight showing that is life-giving, and that in the end will win out.
Well, I don't know. He meets Dominique, and it's like he's in hell. It's so hot. It's the sun, all right, but it might be, it's like being in the Sahara. It's hot. He's toiling below the ground in a pit. I think the symbolism there is large part negative. It's hell. It's so hot. Hell is supposed to be hot, right? Although not sunlit, but hot. And I think Roark's at the lowest ebb of his career. That's what I think the Granite Quarry scene is a testament to Dominique. I think the Granite Quarry scene shows how insightful and how brilliant and how idealistic and how sensitive, exquisitely sensitive Dominique is. That even under these conditions, she recognizes this is the face of a god. Even in hell, she recognizes Roark as a god. I don't know that the sun is such a positive thing there, because the guy's slaving away, in the Granite Quarry. They might think a little shade, a little cloud cover might be a good thing in that concept. But I think you're right overall, certainly, that the sun is a positive image in general. Ayn Rand uses it as a positive image in the Fountainhead. It shines on Howard Roark. I'm not sure if there's any symbolic significance to there being a rainstorm when Roark gets the call from Wine. Maybe there is, because of course Winand's own life is a storm. It's the attempt to live out a contradiction, and you can't live in a storm without building shelter and everything, which is exactly what Roark does, of course. But Wynand can't live out that contradiction. He can't survive the storm. Roark can. It's interesting. Roark's the guy who builds the shelter that enables you to survive the storm. He can survive the storm. Wynand cannot.